Right, I'm doing it. Today I'm talking about My Little Pony. I feel it's only appropriate to approach this in the spirit of the analysis brony. There we go. I want to preface this video by explaining that I watched G4 through my childhood and adolescence, and I used to watch brony videos even back then. I know that this show is targeted towards little kids, so I'm going to try and take this into account. But still, today I'm talking about the connection between G4 and G5 and some of my thoughts on the matter. For those who don't know, G5 of My Little Pony is set some unspecified time after G4. This means that there have been some changes from when Twilight and her friends left off, with their stable country, their school of friendship, and their peaceful integrated society. Most obviously, there was some kind of rough patch, because everyone except for ponies, dragons, breezes, and sea ponies have vanished. Magic is gone, and oh look, crystals! These are the Unity crystals. They were separated between the isolated pony tribes and brought back magic when they were joined together. They also apparently have terrible rechargeable batteries and constantly need more friendship juice pumped into them, or Pegasi are going to start to suffer fall damage. Now these Unity crystals get backstory in the comics, which I was only barely aware of. I'm not sure if these are advertised better in the US, but I feel like they're targeted at long-time fans with all of the G4 references. Anyway, apparently the pony racism rose again, and Twilight and her friends forgot how to deal with it, so they poured all magic, including Pegasus flight by the way, for those who aren't aware that that is powered by magic, into these crystals to stop fights from breaking out. At first I didn't think past the fact that the main six had somehow forgotten how to tackle the problems they had in literally the last episode. But recently, another G5 comic that appeared in my YouTube recommended reminded me of why this issue is even more out of character than I thought for Twilight. Here is Rainbow Dash. You might recognise this as the only pony capable of pulling off the Sonic Rainboom, the event that connected the main six in the first place. Or you might recognise her as a member of the Wonderbolts, a rescue team of sorts that performs aerial manoeuvres and acts like a line of defence. Or you might recognise her from her previous job as head of the Ponyville Weather Control Team. Failing all four of these, you might notice that she flies a lot. Well, G5's story now means that shortly after the finale of G4, Rainbow Dash is unable to do any of these things. None of them. How? Why? What? In what version of G4's timeline would Twilight take away all of this because of some bullying? Back when the movie A New Generation came out, very insightful name by the way, it could have been excused that magic was lost after the main six were around, or at least that some kind of precautions were taken place before everything was shut down, but apparently they just went ahead with it with one day's notice or something. In this same comic that I mentioned before, Cloudsdale not only still exists, but is full of dangerous weather that nobody would have control over. I'm not going to claim any knowledge of what the process was for making G5 or writing the comics, and I can even say that I do like some aspects of G5, like some character design changes in the 3D models, or the character arc of Misty, or the sibling relationship between Pip and Zip. But G5 bit off way more than it could chew with the timeline and connecting to G4. It just feels like whoever wrote this didn't watch enough of the previous generation for everything they're implementing. Let me just give another example of why I just don't like this. Fair warning for fellow Rainbow Dash fans here, you might want to prepare yourself. In this same comic, Zip, Pip and Sunny are trying to save a blimp full of ponies from falling during a storm. Pip and Sunny grab onto it and are allegedly doing something, but Zip is apparently just a bit too far away. In her panic that she won't make those 5 feet in the next 2 seconds, she becomes slightly more determined and manages to reach the blimp by performing a sonic rainbow. And she catches the blimp and slows its descent. Not only do the physics not make sense, not only did she not need to do a rainbow in the first place, but Zip shouldn't be able to pull one off. You only need to watch 2 specific episodes of Season 1 of Friendship is Magic to understand how physically challenging it is for Rainbow Dash to pull off the rainbow. And she was always a fast flyer. She'd been practicing her whole life and was destined and gifted to be able to do the rainbow. and we know that nobody else has done it for a long time surrounding G4 because it was considered to be an old mare's tale, folklore. So just, what is this? As someone who wants a show to respect its own lore, I ask the internet for some kind of reason. Why can Zip, who's only been able to fly for a few months now, pull off the most miraculous and legendary Pegasus skill? And you know what? Anyone who actually came to watch this video, I want you to come up with the craziest out there theories that could explain this in the comments below. I just need a good laugh, I think, to calm me down from all of this ranting. Alternatively, if you want to hear me rant some more about a kid's show or more My Little Pony content, go ahead and request that in the comments. After all, I'm clearly lacking ideas considering how few uploads I have. Until next time, this has been Nick, and I'll see you then.